What's up guys, it's Bladelord back with another tabletop review, and today we're going to be taking a look at this One Piece hollow handle survival knife. I got this knife at the tactical store. I actually was planning on, it's a long story, but basically I wanted to sell my buck 10 to get some money for Rambo First Blood survival knife, and my friend wanted to buy it, and as we were looking at the PX, I saw this hollow handle knife, which actually is definitely way better built than the First Blood Hollywood Collectibles knife. So he told me, well, how about I buy this and we trade it? So I traded him my buck 110 for this. I didn't really use the buck 110 much. I only bought it really for just nostalgia and sentimental reasons. But this knife is definitely one I like a whole lot more. So in short, yeah, I got this instead of the Rambo First Blood Hollywood Collectibles knife. So let's just take a look at the knife itself. So it did not come with all this cordage. The only cordage it actually came with was just a cheap nylon cord on the end of the sheath that I replaced with this paracord leg tie. And also for the lanyard, I just removed that and also added paracord and added a paracord grip so that way it's better to hold. Also, because I heard underneath that since this is all just one piece of metal, it gets really cold when you use it in the cold, and I live in Germany, so yeah. So it grips really well now. This is a drop forged knife, which basically means that, yeah, everything, including the handle, is all forged from one piece of steel. Think like the Cold Steel drop forged survivalist. I'll include a photo up here somewhere of that knife. But that's basically what like a drop forge knife is. So it's a hollow handle, but since it's drop forged, it should have the strength of a full tang, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, drop point blade. It's by this company Blackfield Military Line. It's got a Carrier F22 here. I don't like this all tactical stuff. I wish it was just all one solid like gray thing, because it's 1070 high carbon steel, which means it'll rust easy, and this unpainted stuff, yeah. Also, there's like still some adhesive because the tactical store that was selling it just straight up put the price sticker on the blade, which made me so mad, but whatever. And the box it came with was just one of those cheap like white boxes, so yeah, I'm not even going to show that. It's somewhere in the garbage already. So yeah, it came from the tactical store. It's, you know, like when you think like military surplus tactical store, it's just cheap crap. This is actually pretty solid built. I actually really like this. And my theory is this is basically just one of those repurposed Schrade knives because of it's the same design, same steel, similar sheath, which the Schrade knife itself that this is stolen from was just a Chris Reeve design. But I'm a broke college kid, so you're never going to see a Chris Reeve knife reviewed on here. Maybe, you know, one day I'll, I don't know, buy the Green Beret or something. Probably not, I don't know. Not too interested in Chris Reeve's knives right now, but things change. So since this is based on a Schrade design that is based on a Chris Reeve design, it came originally with this bit driver set, which both the Chris Reeve and Schrade also came with. And that just kind of went in here when I first got it. I don't care for it, so I just took it out. And I originally was going to put a ferro rod in here, but since this knife doesn't have a sharp spine, I didn't. So we'll get into what I replaced it with instead later. So I think that's about it for the knife. It's just a solid, well, decently sized knife. I think it's like 6 or 7 inches, somewhere around there, so it's pretty good. Pommel's good. I saw like a review where like a guy, it's like from the official Schrade YouTube channel from like 12 years ago or something, where he's like smashing rocks with it, using it as a hammer. Maybe it's good to know that the pommel will do that. I don't know how it'll hold up with like the coating and all that, but I don't know. I'm excited to see how this knife will perform because this is going to be my go-to survival knife now. So with that, every good survival knife needs a good sheath. And as I said before, it just came with nylon. I replaced that. Then I wrapped the whole thing in paracord. It's sort of MOLLE compatible, but I don't care for MOLLE, so I just carry it on my belt, which it has a Velcro strap here, so you can attach it to your belt without having to take off your belt. But it's kind of complicated, at least for me. It's always like finicky to get it on there, so I'd rather just take my belt off, slide it in, and call it a day. It's got this like thing here. I don't really know what this is. I guess it reminds me of like the end of a pistol belt. This like little metal thing. And that's about the only thing like that I can think. It's just like, oh, you would just attach this somewhere, but I don't know. It's got a pouch as well, and I stored a survival kit in there, which we will take a look at actually right now. There's nothing else to talk about besides like this strap here and the plastic inserts for retention. Speaking of which, I guess, yeah, it used to kind of hold the knife well, but since I've been using it more, it kind of falls out easy. So yeah, actually this thing's scraping around so much, I'm sorry for the noise. I want to get a leather sheath for this. I'm probably going to steal one when I come back home off of my Mossy Oak knife. I'll also provide a photo somewhere up here of how that sheath looks, because it's actually pretty sure the same size as the Mossy Oak knife. I don't have that knife on me, it's in storage, but I do have a knife we'll compare later. Right now, let's just take a look at the survival kit that I have in this pouch. So, I stole this. I originally put this in my SOG Seal Pup, which I stole off a Gerber Ultimate Survival Knife. It's just a diamond sharpener with a signal mirror. There's some small microcord that I just threw in there. Apparently wiring's good, so I just threw in some like metal wiring. I guess it's good for like traps or something. I don't really know. I just basing this off what people have recommended. Little Altoids tin held with rubber bands, because rubber bands are good too, I guess. And I think I posted already kind of what's inside this tin on like my community post, but I'm still gonna show you sort of. So it's gauze pad, 3 band-aids, 2 safety pins, 2 buttons, 2 Q-tips that are broken in half. This is like a needle and thread, and there's a fishing kit here. I do need to add fishing line, but this is kind of a hastily made survival kit with just what I had laying around. I'll definitely be updating this more and more. I eventually want to actually be able to have the whole survival kit in like a small plastic bag or tube that I can fit in the handle. And speaking of the handle, let's look at what we keep in the handle of the knife, because I mean, what's the point of a hollow handled survival knife if you don't keep anything in there? So it's held with a waterproof, I just forgot the name of like what these are called. It's going to come back to me later and I'm going to get so angry about it, but it's this little waterproof O-ring here. That's what it is. Yeah, O-ring. So it's a little worn, because again, I got this knife used at a tactical store, so it's not going to be pristine, but it's good enough. So put that to the side. And I mentioned earlier, since this knife doesn't have a 90-degree spine, it won't like strike a ferro rod, which is fine. I don't want it to ruin the finish anyway. So what I do keep in here is more old-fashioned, just some cotton for fire starting, and about 20 matches and a striker. So the matches, as you can tell, are broken at the bottom, and that's because inside the knife, since it's all one piece of steel, it is very hard to kind of, yeah, there. You can see that the center has more space, and normal size matches could fit in there, but around it, that gap gets smaller. So yeah, I'd have to break the matches in half to just be able to fit them in there. And eventually if I somehow manage to get a whole survival kit in here, there'll be less matches that'll fit in the center, and then around it I'll put the stuff in. I don't know. I'll show you guys that whenever if I get that. So yeah, that's about it for the survival kit. It's not much. It's all right. There's definitely more I wish to add in here, but I don't have on me right now, so I'm just working with what I got. Which, I mean, that's the whole charm of this knife, is just work with what I got, buying stuff on base, and just, yeah, it's kind of my go-to fixed blade right now. Speaking of which, let's compare it to my previous go-to fixed blade, the SOG Seal Pup. One thing I kind of am wishing on this knife every now and then is that it came with serrations, but I'm also glad because there's more kind of, this is for finer carving then, and so serrations are kind of a on and off thing. But if we can just get these like this, obviously this one is way longer than the Seal Pup. As for thickness, the hollow handle knife is definitely thicker than the Seal Pup, but the Seal Pup can strike a ferro rod. This is just a, I think there's a stick tang in here. It's a full tang, sort of, but with a stick tang. This is really good for like underwater stuff, and I think as a combat knife, I would choose this, but as a survival knife, I would probably choose this. So kind of, that's the thing, there's no perfect all-around knife. Like, you have some that are meant for combat, you have some that are meant for just bushcraft and survival. So this is kind of my go-to survival knife. And, well, God willing, never happens, but if something bad happens, I need to defend myself, I would probably go for this knife. But I mean, in situations like that, just go for whatever is closest to you. So I don't know, I've never been in a fight for my life, just stupid fights, but nothing like serious. So yeah, that was kind of my review on these one-piece hollow handle survival knife. I hope you guys enjoyed my rambling and very unprofessional setup. We'll get to field tests again when I return to the States. I can't promise it'll be soon because I attend college, and obviously I can't have this on a college campus, so it'll be at my friend's house because I'm staying with a friend. So whenever I go to that house or something, we might field test in the woods, maybe. Really depends on life right now. You know, I'm in those years where life is kind of crazy and hectic, and I'm trying to figure out my place in the world. So if you guys could keep me in your prayers, that would be amazing. But I'm Blade Lore. Thank you for watching, and God bless.